In the heart of Africa, massive changes are happening. Cities are growing overnight, roads and railways are connecting nations like never before, and ports are booming with goods ready to change the global market. This is no fantasy. It's China's mega projects, and they're transforming Africa in ways that seemed unimaginable just a few decades ago. These projects are more than just buildings and bridges. They're reshaping economies, societies, and even the future of the entire continent. But is it all progress, or is there a bigger plan unfolding? Decades ago, Africa's infrastructure was limited, with countries struggling to build connections between their own cities and neighboring nations. The landscape was isolated, but in the 1970s, something significant happened. China took its first steps into Africa by funding the Tanzania-Zambia Railway Authority, TAZARA. This was no small task. The railway would stretch over 1,800 kilometers and connect two nations that were otherwise separated by vast distances. It wasn't just a project, it was a message. China was ready to invest in Africa's future. At that time, this railway was more than a transport line. It was a symbol of China's growing ambition. As the decades rolled on, China continued to lay the groundwork for more extensive involvement in Africa, building trust and laying a foundation for future larger-scale projects. But it wasn't until the 21st century that the real mega projects began. Fast forward to 2013, China unveiled the Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, a game changer. This massive investment program sought to connect Asia, Africa, and Europe through a vast network of roads, railways, ports, and airports. It was bold, ambitious, and for many, a lifeline for countries that had long been neglected in the global development race. For Africa, the BRI opened doors. It meant billions of dollars flowing into critical infrastructure, transport, energy, and digital connectivity. By 2023, African countries had signed contracts worth over $21 billion with China, aiming to reshape their economies. The BRI wasn't just about money, it was about strengthening China's ties with Africa and creating an economic corridor that would change the face of the continent forever. But with this influx of money and investment came new challenges. As much as China's presence brought economic growth, it also raised concerns. Are African nations becoming too dependent on Chinese capital? Is there a hidden cost to this development? These Chinese-backed projects have brought unprecedented change to the African continent. Roads and railways are no longer just dreams. They are the foundations of a new economic reality. Across East and Southern Africa, these projects are enabling faster trade, better connectivity, and economic growth. Cities that once stood isolated are now part of a more connected and integrated network. Take Kenya, for example. The Mombasa-Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway, known as the Madaraka Express, has transformed the way goods and people move between the country's two most important cities. Before its construction, travel by road was slow and often treacherous. But today, the railway provides a reliable and efficient means of transport, significantly reducing travel time and boosting Kenya's economy. Yet, with this transformation comes a financial burden. The loans that funded these projects have raised concerns over debt sustainability, leaving many questioning the long-term impact of these infrastructural advancements on the country's economic health. The story is similar in Ethiopia, where the Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway has connected the landlocked country to the world through the port of Djibouti. This electrified railway has brought Ethiopia closer to international markets, cutting down travel time dramatically. The railway has made a huge impact on Ethiopia's economy by providing more efficient transport for goods, especially in an economy that was once at a disadvantage due to its lack of access to ports. However, Ethiopia now faces the challenge of managing the financial load tied to these projects, a common concern among African nations receiving Chinese loans. In Kenya, another massive project, Lamu Port and the Lamu Transport Corridor, aims to create one of Africa's busiest ports. When fully operational, it will become a gateway for trade to and from the heart of Africa, giving Kenya and the region strategic access to the global market. Yet, despite its potential, the Lamu project has faced numerous hurdles, from security concerns to delays in financing, but the prospects remain high for its long-term success. So what's been the effect of all this infrastructure? The benefits are clear. First and foremost, these projects have boosted Africa's economies. By improving transport, connecting key markets, and creating jobs, China's investment is having a direct impact on the daily lives of Africans. Take the rise in industrial zones across the continent. China's investment in key industries is providing employment opportunities and contributing to the manufacturing sector. The growth of railways and roads has made it easier for African nations to trade within Africa and with the rest of the world. The economic boom is palpable in many places. However, it's not all smooth sailing. While cities are thriving, rural areas are often left behind. The focus on infrastructure projects means that some communities don't experience the same growth. There's a gap, a divide that's becoming more apparent as these mega projects unfold. What does this mean for the future of Africa? Can development truly be inclusive? As much as these projects promise growth, there's a lingering issue that can't be ignored: debt. Many African nations have taken on significant loans from China to fund these massive projects. While the infrastructure is impressive, the question arises, will African nations be able to pay off these loans? Some experts warn that the rising debt could put countries in a precarious position, with the potential for China to leverage its investments for political gain. Countries like Zambia, for example, have struggled with debt repayment, leading to concerns about what this could mean for Africa's sovereignty and future. So, is this a debt trap, as some critics argue, or is it a necessary risk for progress? One thing's for sure, Africa is at a crossroads, and the way it manages these debts will determine whether these projects remain a blessing or become a burden. China's growing influence in Africa isn't just about money and infrastructure, it's also about geopolitics. As China expands its footprint across Africa, it's positioning itself as a global leader in shaping the continent's future. But with this influence comes a series of challenges. Local governments are faced with balancing their relationships with China while ensuring that their own citizens benefit from these projects. Environmental concerns also come into play, especially in areas where large-scale construction is disrupting local ecosystems. And let's not forget the local industries that are struggling to compete with Chinese firms taking up much of the market share. China's involvement in Africa is a double-edged sword. It offers opportunities for growth, but also raises questions about Africa's independence and the long-term effects of foreign influence. China's mega projects are undeniably reshaping Africa's future. From railways to ports, these massive investments are propelling the continent forward, making it an emerging global player. But as much as these projects promise growth and development, they come with a set of challenges: debt, governance, and environmental concerns. The future of Africa is at a crucial turning point. It's not just about the mega projects themselves, but how African countries navigate the complexities of this new phase of development. Will they find the right balance between progress and independence? Africa's journey is far from over, and the role that China plays will be pivotal in shaping that path. As these projects continue to unfold, it's up to African leaders and the global community to ensure that these changes truly benefit the people of Africa and that the development is sustainable. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Share this video with your friends and hit that subscribe button for more insights on how the world's mega projects are changing our future. And don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's keep the conversation going and watch as these transformations unfold.